to Cooking at Nanook Lodge and this episode of From a Cookbook. The number generator gave us Michael's Genuine from Michael Schwartz's restaurant in Miami. Great, fun little restaurant. Michael's well recognized in the Miami community as being an awesome chef. He's won James Beard Awards. If you ever find yourself in Miami, go to his restaurant. But anyway, I was flipping through the book, and in the back in the side dishes, I saw this recipe for roasted butternut squash. I'm going to make a couple of tweaks to what he's doing, but the inspiration still is this cookbook. This recipe is actually really straightforward. There's only 8 ingredients. We've got salt and pepper, olive oil, parmesan. I'm using shredded parmesan. In Michael's recipe, he used pecorino. I switched that out because actually I have parmesan and it's a little bit easier to find than pecorino romano. And I like the nuttiness that goes with this. We've got the butternut squash, fresh sage, molasses. Now in his recipe he uses maple syrup. I'm going to use molasses to just punch up that flavor a little bit. And then of course some butter. That's all there is to it. We're going to roast this and we're going to make a little brown butter with the molasses and the sage and then put the Parmesan cheese on the top. It'll be all delicious. Prep is done. I cut the butternut squash into like bite-sized cubes. They're slightly less than an inch. I've chopped the sage. We've got the butter and the molasses all measured. We've got our olive oil and salt and pepper. We're simply going to toss some olive oil over the top of this, sprinkle of salt and pepper, plop it on the baking sheet, and let it roast in the oven for a little bit. I'm going to drizzle a couple of tablespoons of olive oil over the top. About that much. Then we'll sprinkle with our salt and pepper, toss it together, throw it on the pan. I like to just get in there with my hands. You could also try and toss it in a bowl like this. Either way. Ready for the oven. While the squash is in the oven, we're going to brown our butter, which is sort of just melting it and then letting it cook until the milk solids start to brown a little bit. You don't want them to burn, you just want them to get brown. It brings a nice toasty flavor to the butter. And then we'll toss the sage in there, crisp up a little bit, put the molasses in, and then we'll be ready to pour it all over the squash when it comes out. You want that butter to start bubbling and sizzling. That's what's going to cook the milk solids and let it turn brown. Our squash is roasted. I'm just going to sprinkle some cheese over the top and put it back into the oven. I turned the oven off. All I want to do is give the cheese a chance to melt a little bit. Back into the oven we go. Here we've got our beautiful platter of roasted squash. I poured the molasses and butter over the top of it. I garnished with a little bit more fresh sage. Oh man, looks fantastic and it smells really good. So, thanks to the cookbook by Michael Schwartz, Michael's Genuine, I am inspired to make this lovely winter squash dish. Hope you enjoy it too. Please subscribe if you're enjoying all these videos.